Imagine being in the midst of total chaos, with Zelda wielding a light sword like a true warrior goddess, slicing through monsters like butter, while the primal winds of Hyrule whip across your face. At last, the princess has taken absolute control, and you are witnessing this epic transformation. Welcome to Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, the definitive Musou game that connects the loose ends of Tears of the Kingdom and gifts you with uninterrupted hours of glorious destruction. But hold on, not everything is perfect. Beneath that brutality lie cracks that will make you question whether this journey to the past is truly worthwhile. What brings this title to life is its immersive narrative. Age of Imprisonment is not just a prequel, it's the opportunity Nintendo seized to open the darkest and most detailed book of Hyrule's legend, revealing ferocious battles and betrayals that were only hinted at in Tears of the Kingdom. The adventure begins right after Zelda's fall into the temporal abyss. You awaken surrounded by ancient ruins and ominous shadows, alongside legends like Rauru and Sonia, the founders who until now were only distant echoes. Here, Zelda is not a fleeting princess, but a determined strategist forging alliances, uniting fragmented races, and facing a calculating and scheming Ganondorf without flinching. The plot delves into the Imprisonment War, the foundational battle where Hyrule emerges from ashes and betrayals. Ganondorf reveals a new facet, a cold manipulator who controls possessed allies and corrupted Zonai constructs. Each chapter unfolds layers of rich lore, connecting directly to Tears without unnecessary spoilers. The game has charming nostalgic moments, such as the talkative choral Kalamo, who becomes an unpredictable ally, and an enigmatic construct reminiscent of Link, but with wings and heavy weaponry. The most powerful aspect here is the empathy it evokes. For example, the scene where Zelda shares an intimate moment with Mineru, Rauru's sister, is simply moving. The cutscenes alternate between intensity and pauses that allow you to breathe, while the soundtrack blends orchestral melodies with remixes of Tears, creating an epic and immersive atmosphere. That said, the story also has its flaws. At times it feels like too much filler, with battles justified only to advance the plot. If you aren't familiar with Tears' lore, many references will leave you disoriented. Thus, with around 15 to 20 hours of main campaign, you'll finish wanting more, although the bittersweet ending will make you put down the controller with a sigh. As for gameplay, Age of Imprisonment is a whirlwind of action that blends the essence of Musou games with iconic Zelda elements. You control a quartet of heroes that you can switch between on the fly, unleashing explosive combos that paint the screen with light and destruction. Zelda, with her Zonai sword, sweeps through entire rows with bursts of pure energy. The adrenaline surges with the floating numbers celebrating your massive KOs. Beyond the melee attacks, the game incorporates Zonai gadgets, such as fire emitters that devour enemies or icy fans that create deadly tornadoes. There's an elemental weakness system that encourages tactical thinking, not just button mashing. And the sync attacks are pure magic, cinematic combinations between heroes that unleash a unique audio-visual spectacle. That said, the story also has its flaws. At times it feels like too much filler, with battles justified only to advance the plot. If you're not familiar with Tears' lore, many references will leave you disoriented. Thus, with around 15 to 20 hours of main campaign, you'll finish wanting more, although the bittersweet ending will make you put down the controller with a sigh. As for gameplay, Age of Imprisonment is a whirlwind of action that blends the essence of Musou games with iconic Zelda elements. You control a quartet of heroes that you can switch between on the fly, unleashing explosive combos that paint the screen with light and destruction. Zelda, with her Zonai sword, sweeps through entire rows with bursts of pure energy. The adrenaline surges with the floating numbers celebrating your massive KOs. Beyond the melee attacks, the game incorporates Zonai gadgets, such as fire emitters that devour enemies or icy fans that create deadly tornadoes. There's an elemental weakness system that encourages tactical thinking, not just button mashing. And the sync attacks are pure magic, cinematic combinations between heroes that unleash a unique audio-visual spectacle. The Korok Kalamo steals scenes with his wacky abilities, like swarms of bees flying across the field. But what shines brightly at times also fizzles out quickly. The combat becomes repetitive with similar missions, capturing positions, rescuing NPCs, defeating bosses in mostly linear environments with little room to explore. The aerial shooter sections are a welcome relief, though they feel tacked on without much integration. On normal difficulty levels, the game is easy, And on higher levels, while the bosses are challenging, the lack of variety can make the gameplay feel monotonous and tedious. With a roster of over 20 playable characters, the game offers a variety of styles that encourage experimentation and combinations. Zelda balances melee attacks with light projectiles. Rauru is an imposing tank, and Minoru unleashes mechanical mayhem with his constructs. Qua commands the water with lethal grace, while Agriston wreaks havoc with Goron Fury. Kalamo, the fun-loving Korok, steals scenes with his wacky abilities, and the construct he pilots transforms for action-packed aerial sections. Each hero has a unique upgrade system and abilities with cooldowns, adding strategic layers. However, it's not all great. Several characters are simply filler, with similar moves and no distinct backstory. Many end up being used less because to get the most out of them, you have to invest in specific challenges. In the end, most people end up using only a dozen favorites.
Visually, this game is a gem on the Switch 2. It runs solidly at 60 FPS, both docked and handheld, without any annoying drops. The massive hordes are animated with great detail and no pop-in issues. The landscapes evoke ancient Hyrule in all its splendor, from misty valleys to scorching deserts, complete with zonal ruins and immersive atmospheres. The sound is equally impressive, with remixes of the series' iconic music and combat effects that resonate with every attack. The English and Spanish voice acting brings Zelda and Ganondorf to life, enhancing the immersion. However, the camera can get lost amidst the chaos, and some magnificent maps are only explored briefly, wasting potential. Beyond combat, cooking in camps for buffs and completing side quests add variety. Split-screen co-op adds extra fun, allowing two players to combine attacks in real time. The adjustable difficulty and self-healing option make the game accessible to a wide range of players. However, the limited number of zonal slots per character forces constant pauses to change equipment, slowing the pace. The side missions, while varied in format, lack narrative weight and often feel repetitive. With over 60 hours of gameplay between the campaign and extra content, replayability is guaranteed for completionists. Character challenges and Ganondorf's random invasions offer interesting challenges, and local co-op adds even more hours. However, the post-game content can become repetitive, and the necessary grinding can tire those seeking constant freshness. It's not all perfect. The camera and large-scale fights can be frustrating, the beginning is saturated with tutorials, and linearity prevails in maps with little genuine exploration. Characters fill out the roster without truly contributing anything, and repetition is the cardinal sin of the genre, amplified in this title. For those who can't stand monotony, it's best to find another battle. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is both brutal and beautiful, with epic moments and a deep connection to the Zelda saga that fans will love. Although it suffers from repetition, filler characters, and some minor details that could be improved, it's an essential piece for understanding the lore and experiencing the ancient war of Hyrule with Zelda as its undisputed leader. On the Switch 2, it looks and runs like a dream. If Tears of the Kingdom left you wanting more, this is your next step. Personally, I'm already fine-tuning my strategy with Kalamo. Will you join the battle? Thanks for watching.